Found that this guy gave the film and he left the hotel, leaving the girl behind. That's enough to show some complicity.
Meanwhile, the father of four, Favor Ibama, has denied the allegations.
And she said, I'm going to give her 30,000 naira for the night. I said, the 30,000 is too much. I can't pay 30,000 naira for the night. She now said that what she can take is 25,000 naira. I said, okay, no problem. Let me go to Market Square and get you something to eat. I wake up, I put on my clothes, my trouser, left without telling her that I'm leaving. And I didn't lock the hotel door room. Now she's saying that her phone is missing, her ATM is missing, and her money, 8,000 naira, is missing. Since I left the door open, I did not tell her that I'm leaving. I'll pay for those things. In the station there, I admitted it. I said, okay, to make peace, I'll pay.
All right. So I'm certain there are many parts of this story that we do not know yet, and I'm hoping that, there are many parts we might never get to know. But Prince Wiro, a human rights advocate, joins me via phone, and he's connected to the story. Good morning, Prince Wiro.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, listeners.
Thank you very much for joining us. All right. So, what are the things that happened before the man was arrested? All the things that are connected to his arrest? Because I know that you've been following this closely.
Okay, what happened was, I think that was on Tuesday. That fateful day was on Tuesday when the man came to purchase something at a popular supermarket at Ada George. So one of the victims, the recent victim, identified him and raised alarm. So a good Samaritan there insisted that the man must be arrested and handed over to the police. So the man is also close to us, to our organization. The man was actually the person that called the police that took the victim and the suspect to Ada George Police Station. We had interfaced with the DCO, Divisional Crime Officer, and after which the suspect was transferred to the state CID. And he also personally got in touch with FIDA to inform them about the matter and ask the guests to go there. So why at state CID? Because the video was posted online on Instagram.
Yeah.
Other guests got the information and came to state CID outside the gate. So we were able to also got in touch with some of the alleged victims. And from what they narrated to us, that after days of chatting, the man will invite them down to Port Harcourt. Because some of them are coming from outside the state with promises of relationship, promises of contract employment, as the case may be, and they will come over to a hotel. And one of the things that is common in everything they explained to us, that is common to each of the alleged victims, is that immediately he buys them food. After eating, they will sleep off, and when they wake up, they will see their settlement and all their belongings, their phone, their money have been carted away by the man. Even their money in their account has been transferred through online transfer. So before the man was transferred to state CID, another of the victims that is based in Owerri, I think our own incident happened either December or November, have already lodged complaint in IGP monitoring unit, and they have been tracking the man before now. So I think they also came to state CID yesterday. But one aspect I'm not comfortable with from what the guys told us, that some unnamed police officers, was telling them that, calling them names, prostitute and the rest of them.
Yeah.
That is not the issue at hand. The issue at hand is that we have a case where a man is alleged to lure young ladies, and after luring them, he will allegedly drop the food, sleep with them, collect their money. That is the issue at hand. So that is why we are worried, because why you see most people abandon these issue cases of rape and defilement, the attitude of some of these police officers.
Yeah.
Have been in a case. Let me give you a particular reference. In the one that is in court, where this Ignacio Surgery University staff who followed up that case in court. The first day, one of the days we went to police station, the police officer was telling the mother of the girl that you did not train your daughters well. That is why such thing happened to them. You don't have to make it as much as you advise. For instance, the chairperson of Nigerian Association of Women Journalists, Susan Wekana. In her statement, she also advised young ladies to be wary of people they meet online in guise of relationship and the rest of them. But that doesn't mean you start shaming them. That is why you see victims back off.
Yeah.
Because imagine when you go to some of these police stations, you hear some police people make all kind of unguided statements that it's not supposed to be. At the end of the day, the victim will back off. So it really calls for concern. But I thank God for the River State Police Command, the spokesperson of the command, Finland Diomoni, who stated categorically that the matter will be investigated, and if the suspect is found culpable, he will be made to face the law. You heard what the spokesperson said. So we are confident that at the end of the day, justice will be served to all the parties involved.
Well, yes, I'm glad he said that, and I really hope that the action matches the words. But another concern, and I was having a conversation with our correspondent about this, is whether we can trust the investigative capability of our police force, because it really does seem like we're relying heavily on statements from different sides to determine whether or not this man is guilty. Now, he has denied raping them. Of course, he talked about negotiating some figure with the ladies before going to get food. But do you trust, because your organization has had cases like this where you work closely with the police, do you trust the investigative capacity of the River State Police Command?
Yes, if they want to do their job, they will do their job. It's very simple. Remember, they get alleged that some of the money he transferred out of their phone to certain accounts. So we expect them to carry out discreet investigation, just like the PRO has said, that they will carry out technical intelligence, which include, if possible, checking the bank statements and the rest of them. And I also know that in modern technologies, there are ways you can trace if actually money was transferred from one account to another account.
Yeah.
It's actually possible. So if they want to do their work, I know they will do their work. It's possible.
Well,
but I'm confident that because, in this case, FIDA is at the forefront.
Yeah.
The Nigerian Association of Women Journalists is also there. So we are also there. So we believe that with FIDA and other parties, the police will do the right thing.
All right. Now, why is it more difficult to prove rape than it is for other crimes? Because that's where the police would have a problem. Proving that money was transferred is obviously easy. But the rape part, it's going to be kind of difficult. Why is it usually harder?
One incident, for instance, let me consider for adults now. One of the ingredients of rape is when the woman does not give you consent. And the body anatomy of an adult woman that has known a man is different from a female child that has not known a man. So that is why we advise, for instance, an adult or even an underage, if there is an incident of rape or defilement, you don't destroy the evidence. The moment it happens, you walk direct to the police station so that they can issue you medical form that you go to the hospital. For instance, an adult woman that has known a man, definitely the hymen is no longer intact. So signs that you see is signs like bruises and the rest of them, if there was sexual penetration. And if the woman, after the incident, did not go to the hospital, maybe she take her bed, after 3-4 days, go to the hospital, the evidence may no longer be there. So it becomes very difficult to prove the issue of rape. That is why we advise the moment the incident happens, it's incumbent on the alleged victim to go to the police. From there, you head to the hospital. You can even go to government hospital. First, at the end of the day, you go to the police so that the evidence will not be destroyed.
All right. And finally, Prince Wiro, we've heard the police say we'll get to the bottom of it, we'll investigate, and we waited for an entire lifetime. Was there a time frame given to, release what the investigation revealed? Did the police say it's going to happen within a particular time?
Actually, Commissioner of Police, DP, not aware.
Okay.
I do not speak for this. I am doing everything possible in the office of the spokesperson of the command to ensure that justice is done and manifestly done in the circumstance in this particular case.
Okay.
And we believe and hope that the police will show us cause that there is no cause for alarm, there is no cause to doubt their credibility and integrity as far as this case is concerned.
All right. I believe your organization will continue to follow this case closely.
Yes, we are following.
Okay.
FIDA is also following, and Nigerian Association of Women Journalists is also following.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Prince Wiro, for your time. We truly appreciate it. Have a beautiful day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Well, we've heard different sides of one interesting story. After the break, you tell me what you make of this. Don't go anywhere.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning.
Nigeria Info. Now we're talking about the River State Police Command parading a married man, Favor Ibama, accused of drugging, raping, and robbing his victims, especially women. Now the father of four, Favor, denied the allegations. I believe I played that earlier. Let's hear him again.
And she said, I'm going to give her 30,000 naira for the night. I said, the 30,000 is too much. I can't pay 30,000 naira for the night. She now said that what she can take is 25,000 naira. I said, okay, no problem. Let me go to Market Square and get you something to eat. I wake up, I put on my clothes, my trouser, left without telling her that I'm leaving. And I didn't lock the hotel door room. Now she's saying that her phone is missing, her ATM is missing, and her money, 8,000 naira, is missing. Since I left the door open, I did not tell her that I'm leaving. I'll pay for those things. In the station there, I admitted it as okay, to make peace, I'll pay.
The female victim, who identified him that led to his arrest, explained how she was raped and left stranded in the hotel by the suspect.
The hotel food takes time to get ready, and then he will go to Market Square to get it. When he came back, he gave me the food. After eating and drinking the juice, I passed out. Few hours later, I woke up, saw myself naked, and my phone, my ATM card, everything was gone. The thing I had with me was gone. I was stranded. The only thing he left for me was 500 naira inside my bag. I had to dress up quickly and go to the receptionist and ask where the person I came with was. She said he left about 3 hours ago. He told them that he was going to buy something. Okay. On Saturday, I went to the hospital, Doctors Without Borders, and they confirmed that I was intoxicated and raped. And I've been on medication since.
Some of the survivors who turned up at the station after the video of the suspect went viral narrated their encounter with him.
30,000 naira to one Folarinre's account. It was the First Bank. After doing the transfer, I never knew he was standing next to me seeing my transfer code. That was it. I slept off because it drugged me. I was still intoxicated. A few days ago, I saw it online. It was trending, so I had to go to the station at Ada George. He accepted it in front of the DCO that he did it to me and he knows me.
I'm also a victim of this same man. Last year, October 31st. Then while in the room, he gave me a bottle of black bullet. I now gulped my own drink and didn't realize he was not drinking it. The last thing I remember was that I stood up from the couch and lied on the bed. I checked, I didn't see my phones, my ATM card, my everything. The next morning I went to the bank, all my money had been withdrawn from the account. So I saw the news online when he was caught at Market Square.
Then he gave me this black bullet drink. It was sealed. This guy opened it in my front. I drank this thing, passed out. I woke up could not find my phone or anything. I asked the bar girl. They said the man said that I'm in the bar drinking, that he's coming back. And I saw it post on Instagram that the man has been held at the George police station. When I got there.
In the meantime, chairperson of Nigeria Association of Women Journalists, Nawad River State Chapter, Susan Serekara, a representative of International Federation of Women Lawyers, have urged the police to do thorough investigation with a view to bringing justice to the survivors.
We want to see that women in River State no longer suffer all this ill treatment and gender biases, and also want to call on the River State Police Command to ensure that this case, is so-called Favor Ibama, is brought to book and is cohorts. My advice to the victims is that they should be very wary of the social media relationship and make sure that they scrutinize whatever thing they do, especially as it relates to relationship on social media, so that they will no longer fall victim.
Because it is a rampant thing right now in Port Harcourt, because we need justice. We don't want a situation whereby there will be compromises in this matter. What we need is justice. It will serve as a deterrence, to others who have such bad intentions. You can imagine a girl would have been killed because those drugs, induced in their system. Some of them cannot survive it. So what we are saying that we need justice in this matter.
All right. So I have just 15 minutes. You get to be a part of the conversation. But let's have a chat before that. Now, we've had so many examples to pull from. Right here in River State, the name Gracious David West tells one particular kind of story. We've seen and heard of people talk about someone leaving Lagos to go visit someone in Abuja, and it did not end well. So we have information to understand that safety is our personal responsibility. However, it is important that we do not victim blame. I had some callers who expressed those thoughts this morning, and of course I was not very excited about that. Victim blaming occurs when the victim of a crime or any wrongful act is held entirely or partially at fault for the harm that befell them. Now they have a responsibility, not blame exactly. Why it's important this does not happen is so that other people can come forward. And my guest, Prince Wiro, said some unnamed police officers, allegedly of course, I need to use that word, because Omoni says investigation is on. Some unnamed police officers called these survivors prostitutes. Now you go to the law to get justice, and a rep of the law, a law enforcement agent, is calling you a prostitute. In that moment, I don't think you're going to believe that anything good will come out of it. I'm hoping that investigation that is ongoing unveils the identity of those officers. When we talk about training, retraining, things that need to happen before people are recruited, it's because of situations like this. An officer should know not to do that. But again, it's an allegation. So tell me what you make of this. 0817-923-0002. Are we paying less attention to safety? What is going on? I'd like to know. Good morning. Hello.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
Chinedu, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How you doing?
It's someone calling from Port Harcourt.
Go ahead.
Please, I want to concentrate on the police aspect. You see, if I have my way, to me, I will say that let all the police officers from IG to the least person, let their data be collected. Let the police institution be obliterated. Let new people come into the Nigerian police. You see, I was in the police. I was in last week in one of the police stations in Port Harcourt. What was my crime? Somebody was arrested, and I brought a legal document from a lawyer. But this person is not supposed to be arrested. That was only my crime. I was not part of the whole thing. It's just because the person is close to me. The DPO ordered his police officer to detain me also. And if you see what they were displaying there, I mean, how can you fight crime? How can you have a better fight in this kind of police system, police institution? It's not possible. It's not possible. And if you watch this man, he has been doing this since last year. The lady in Owerri, from what I heard, the man you spoke with, lodged a complaint through IG. Up to now, they've not been able to apprehend it. That is telling you how weak and bad the whole thing is. No intelligence. Now, the man, finally, one of the victims have identified him. Instead of them to continue thorough investigation, they are calling the people. They are demoralizing the mind and the list of the people before the victim, calling them prostitutes. My brother, we can't make progress. We can't fight crime with this kind of police system. It's bad. The system is bad. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning, Oracle.
Morning.
Chinke Daniel Imogeto Zako.
All right.
My take on this issue, I never knew that you would go to this length on the side of the ladies. But now that you have said it, for me, that I wanted to call, is to say that before you said it, is that both of them are culprits. As far as this matter is concerned, you never...
Hello?
So,
hello?
You never can imagine what these ladies will do if a man decided not to dance to their tune. I am sorry, a married man is doing this. But what I'm saying this morning is that...
All right, thanks for calling. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, good morning, Mr. Sam.
Morning.
Yeah, let me quickly just dive into the police behavior. You see, even if you retrain the police, you are pushing them back to their wives who don't have the same training. You are pushing them back to their society, to their neighbors who don't have this training. Mr. Sam, you know very well how people can be contagious and transfer. It's like beating a pig. That pig will fall back to the mud, and you still come back and you continue to beat that pig. Mr. Sam, that is how human beings are. Until the society is changed, where the police is going back to. If you like, change the police. Even if Jesus Christ come and change them, they will still go back to that same mode and still affect the society in this manner. Thank you, sir.
All right. Well, I completely disagree with that opinion. Training refines you. It's supposed to enlighten you. And the idea behind it is to make a rotten system better. So if you train our police officers, of course, also giving them the equipment they need to function, it's a no-brainer. It's like educating a child and putting them in an environment of rot. Because they have an enlightened mind, they are going to improve that environment. It's that simple. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Comrade.
Go ahead.
Yes, Sam. Let us look at this issue very critically. Before you should be able to follow a man to an hotel, you must have agreed within your conscience that whatever the man wants, you will do with him.
Okay.
Before the man takes you to a hotel, book for a room, you go inside the room with him. What is your intent? And at the end of the day, you are coming out to tell Nigerians that the man raped you. And you prize with this man. When you have prized sex, means you are a sex hawker. If you are not a sex hawker, you can't prize with a man. It's only sex hawkers, as I know, prize with man. So absolutely, in the eyes of the law, she is a prostitute.
Okay. So let me explain something.
All right.
Now, sexual assault, rape, or things that go along those lines is simply trying to have access to somebody's body without their consent. Now, I'm not stating what the women are or what they are not. But even in that room, if the man was trying to get sex from the lady and she has said no, irrespective of what they had agreed before getting there, if they got there by 7 and she wanted to have sex with him at 8 and he's demanding sex at 7:30, it is rape. The minute somebody does not consent to that transaction and you go ahead and try to take it, it is rape. So it doesn't matter how much you think they have agreed. It doesn't matter when she got there. If at the moment it happened, she did not consent, it is rape. Do you understand?
But is it with the man?
No, hold on.
With the man?
Forget pricing or no pricing. Do you understand the concept of rape?
Sam, the truth is that the man had not said that she refused to give it to him. The man has not said it. Should we hear only one side and take verdict? We must look at the both statements side by side. Because one, she followed him to the hotel room, have time to eat, sleep. According to her, that she ate and she slept for about 2 hours. Now, the man is saying that both of them had agreed. If you look at the man's statement, he said both of them had agreed. He did not rape her. So she should prove beyond reasonable doubt that the man raped her.
All right. So we're going to have a hard time, but it's not impossible. Rape culture. That's something that's huge. I have a few minutes, and there's something I must play. I think that consent thing has to come up again. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, Mr. Sam. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is also Sam.
All right. Talk to me.
Yes. Concerning this matter, I think the police needs to do due diligence and proper investigation, because ladies will also frame up things like this. But let's get there and face the police now. What has happened to the other matter of the police officer that raped the lady along Sakwenwabori Road during the COVID period. That matter has been swept under the carpet. How are we sure that this one will not go the same way? Because the inspector with that lady that was not wearing a face mask and all those things, this is the same thing, and that has been swept under the carpet. Why are we sure that this will not go the same way? The police needs to be checked also, because they are part of the problem. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Most times we notice that when there's pressure on the police, that's when they work. It's not supposed to be the case, but with a lot of attention. I mean, we have lots of cases to point to. We have the Coco 5, thanks to the pressure by the public. That's how and why people, the police got something done. So, a couple of things that we should know. I'm going to play the consent audio, so we understand the business of consent. I don't know how the ladies got there. I don't know what the arrangement was. I don't know what was said over the phone. Our news report states mouth-watering promises. So there is a responsibility of safety. I imagine what mothers of these girls, if they heard the story, would ask their daughters, which they should. Why did this happen? Why was this? Anybody connected to the girl will ask certain questions. But you see, there is a place for blame. And that place is not this case. Because I said, victim blaming does not help in any way. It's like blaming me for getting kidnapped because I have... No, it doesn't exactly connect. But I'm looking for a way to put it so we can better understand it. So please be safe. Keep your children safe. Make smart decisions. We're hoping nothing happens. But if anything does happen, it will be nice for us to know that we have a system that actually works in our favor, or better yet, in the favor of justice. That's how I think we should end this. And just for the purpose of understanding consent, here it is.
Crossfire. Imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? If you're still struggling with consent.
If you're still struggling with consent, just imagine instead of initiating sex, you're making them a cup of tea. You say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they go, oh my God, I would love a cup of tea, thank you. Then you know they want a cup of tea. If you say, hey, would you like a cup of tea? And they're like, I'm not really sure. Then you can make them a cup of tea, or not, but be aware that they might not drink it. And if they don't drink it, then, and this is the important bit, don't make them drink it. Just because you made it doesn't mean you're entitled to watch them drink it. And if they say, no thank you, then don't make them tea. At all. Just don't make them tea. Don't make them drink tea, don't get annoyed at them for not wanting tea. They just don't want tea, okay? They might say, yes please, that's kind of you. And then when the tea arrives, they actually don't want the tea at all. Sure, that's kind of annoying as you've gone to all the effort of making the tea, but they remain under no obligation to drink the tea. They did want tea, now they don't. Some people change their mind in the time it takes to boil the kettle, brew the tea, and add the milk. And it's okay for people to change their mind, and you are still not entitled to watch them drink it. And if they are unconscious, don't make them tea. Unconscious people don't want tea, and they can't answer the question, do you want tea? Because they're unconscious. Okay, maybe they were conscious when you asked them if they wanted tea, and they said yes, but in the time it took you to boil the kettle or brew the tea and add the milk, they are now unconscious. You should just put the tea down, make sure the unconscious person is safe, and this is the important part again, don't make them drink the tea. They said yes then, sure, but unconscious people don't want tea. If someone said yes to tea, started drinking it, and then passed out before they'd finished it, don't keep on pouring it down their throat. Take the tea away. Make sure they are safe, because unconscious people don't want tea. Trust me on this. If someone said yes to tea around your house last Saturday, that doesn't mean they want you to make them tea all the time. They don't want you to come around to their place unexpectedly and make them tea and force them to drink it, going, but you wanted tea last week, or to wake up to find you pouring tea down their throat going, but you wanted tea last night. If you can understand how completely ludicrous it is to force people to have tea when they don't want tea, and you are able to understand when people don't want tea, then how hard is it to understand when it comes to sex? Whether it's tea or sex, consent is everything. And on that note, I'm going to make myself a cup of tea.
It's 9 o'clock.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Hello, good morning. I am Ifeimi Andrew. U.S. President Joe Biden says he is hopeful that America can mark independence from COVID-19 on July 4 if people get vaccinated. In his first primetime address as president, Mr. Biden said he will order states to make all adults eligible for vaccinations by the 1st of May. His speech comes a year to the day the outbreak was classified as a pandemic. 500,000 Americans have died of COVID-19. Thailand has delayed the rollout of the AstraZeneca's COVID-19 vaccine over reports of blood clots, despite being no evidence. The country's prime minister was due to kick off the country's vaccination drive by getting the jab on Friday. This has now been cancelled. The delay comes after a number of countries, including Denmark and Norway, suspended the use of the vaccine. Around 5 million Europeans have already received the AstraZeneca vaccine. Nagpur in western India becomes the first major city in the country to return to a complete lockdown amid a sharp spike in coronavirus cases. The week-long lockdown, which starts on 15th of March, will extend to adjoining areas of the district as well. Maharashtra state, where Nagpur is located, has always been a COVID hotspot with the highest number of active and confirmed cases in India. India has recorded more than 11 million cases and 157,000 deaths so far. The Welsh government has announced the relaxation of lockdown rules, with the first coming into effect on Saturday. However, supermarkets are not allowed to sell non-essential items for another week, and retail shops remain closed. The First Minister said the easing of rules in Wales was the start of a phased approach out of lockdown. It has also now been confirmed that primary schools will be open to all pupils beginning from Monday. Finally, the European Parliament has declared that the whole of the European Union is an LGBTIQ freedom zone. The symbolic resolution was passed in response to local authorities in Poland labeling themselves LGBT ideology-free zones in recent years. Poland also plans to close a loophole that allowed same-sex couples to adopt. The Polish government announced its proposal for the adoption ban just hours before the European Parliament declared a support for LGBT rights. Same-sex relationships are not legally recognized in Poland. Contact our newsroom at 0818 900 0017. Good morning.